Today we need to make a couple of big ass lines. We've got a dash 12 and a big old dash 16. These are for the oil pump lines to run through the cabin. And then we've got to figure out where we're going to mount our bulkheads for the firewall. So these are going to go somewhere in the vicinity of here, around where the old brake master would have used to be. And then we've got, from there we can finish making the lines to the oil pump. And then we've got to do a few other little fun jobs, clearance the bonnet, just to make room for a firebomb trigger and kill switch to mount in the scuttle. Then the bonnet can go back on, and then we've got to put in some gas struts because we're going to retire the broomstick. He's been a good man, but he's done for. We ended up just scalloping some of the passenger seat mount gusset. I've tried to do everything in the car in a way where I can still put a passenger seat in it if I want to. If anyone's wondering why I haven't used all this empty space, which would have been probably a much easier way to mount a lot of stuff. Next step, need to terminate these, and then we can start figuring out also where we're going to pin them down. To do that, we've got some awesome mounts here from Bronson at House of Hoon. So he's been 3D printing up these different sized AN fittings brackets. So basically they've got a bolt hole there where you can mount them down to wherever you want to, and then just provisions in the side here for a cable tie. So they can just go along the side of it and cable tie the line to it, like so. I'll put the link in the description for them. Highly recommend, very useful. They were a pain in the ass. So plumbing this water system is turning out to be a real bit of a bitch. Stepping out of the dash 16s that I had welded into the radiator, and then obviously dash 16 coming out of the water pump, I've got to split it into two dash 12s for the LS inlet, which is kind of frustrating. When I welded these fittings on the radiator and bought this water pump, the car was still with an SR20 in it, not the LS. So that is now proving to be a bit of a complication that I hadn't foresawn. Grab these Y pieces from Aeroflow that are basically they're a dash 16 Y piece, and then we've just got dash 12 reducers down on the other end. Obviously fitting them is proving to be a bit of a pain, because by the time you add a female conversion on this one comes up quite high. They have to split and go into these two lower ports, and then the top two have to merge together and somehow get into the top of the rad. So aside from doing some very awkward lines and having this one sort of positioned in the middle, and God knows how I even do these two split off to the lower ones, but if anyone has any ideas, let me know. Hopefully though we can get the water lines plumbed in the next couple of weeks though, because that'll be a nice thing to tick off. Fuel lines, I've kind of got enough here in the spares to finish making the return, and then just need to figure out the fuel rail and injector situation before we make the final fuel line for the pressure side. But now that the oil lines are all done, that's a really nice big project ticked off. After hopefully finishing the water lines, the rest of the plumbing can be nice and back to small sizing again and no more of this dash 16.